Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tassos Kilimos. Happy joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope your week is going well so far. If you could, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are less than 1,000 subscribers away from the 50,000 mark. We're hoping, fingers crossed, we can hit the 50,000 subscriber mark by Sunday. That's the goal. We'll see if we can get there. It may not be till next week, but we're hoping for Sunday. So help us get there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Thank you, as always, for watching and joining and helping the Guy Boston Sports community. No video yesterday. It was kind of a small NBA slate. I didn't really love a lot of the props. Opted to take the day off, and we're going to focus on getting back on track today. We did miss the mark on Monday, but it's all right. We're back on today. New NBA Player Prop Parlay. I got a 3-leg parlay to share with you guys today. Let's dive right in. As always, guys, I like to use DraftKings as my sportsbook of choice. It's just the one that I choose. They give the best props, in my opinion, the best options for building parlays. So for the first leg of today's 3-leg parlay, we are targeting the Charlotte Hornets New Orleans Pelicans game, which kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Herb Jones of the New Orleans Pelicans over 10.5 points plus assists. And if we can kick it over to the outlier screen, I can show you why I like this prop. If you guys don't know what outlier is, it is the best sports betting tool on the market. And when you use the special link in our description below, you get a 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. It gives you a ton of great insight into making picks, props, everything. I cannot stress enough, and the best way for me to give you an ad read is not to actually give you an ad read, but to show you how to use it. So as always, if you watch any of my player prop parlay videos, you know we use Outlier every single time. Make sure to check it out. Again, link in the description below, 7-day free trial when you use our special link. All right, so looking at this Herb Jones prop, again, I use DraftKings as my sportsbook of choice, which is where we're getting it, minus 125 odds. But this prop is available on BetMGM, on FanDuel, and on Caesars. So if you're using any other sportsbook, you can find this prop on basically every other sportsbook. I use DraftKings, so I'm getting this at minus 125 odds. Pretty good spot. He's hit this in 8 of his last 10 games, an 80% hit rate. And when you stretch that data out further, last 20 games, still solid. He's hit it in 65%, which is 13 of his last 20 games. And if you stretch that data to the entire season view, he's hit this in 68% of his games this year for the New Orleans Pelicans, 26 out of 38 games. Pretty solid spot for Herb Jones. The Pelicans are playing at home. And when you look at Herb Jones' numbers at just home games this season, again, 68% hit rate, 13 out of 19 games at home. So even at home, he's hitting this consistently. And when you look at the head-to-head, the last time these guys played this year, on December 15th, he hit this number. He had 11 points and 1 assist. The previous 2 times he didn't hit it, but understanding that Herb Jones had a very different role and spot on this team last season, the one that's important is this year, and he did hit this the one time they played this year. And when you look at the defensive matchup, you go ahead and look over on this side. The Hornets right now are bottom 5 in the league in points allowed and assists allowed overall. And when you look a little closer, they are bottom 3, in points and assists allowed to the small forward position. This is one of the worst defensive teams against the small forward, and it is worth noting that Gordon Hayward is out, so that's their best small forward on the roster is not playing. So pretty good spot here for Herb Jones for the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, moving on to the second leg of our 3-leg parlay. We are targeting the Mavericks-Lakers game, which kicks off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with LeBron James of the Los Angeles Lakers over 29.5 points plus rebounds. Now, if you know anything about me, I am not a LeBron guy. I'm a Celtics fan. I am a diehard LeBron hater, but it's too good of a spot here not to take LeBron. So if you look at the data, it's actually not that great. He's only hit this in 4 of his last 10 games. It's a 40% hit rate, but you push that data down a little bit. He's hit it in 3 of his last 5. And on the 2023 season as a whole, he is hitting at a 61% rate. He's been a little down of late, which I think is also part of why the Lakers have been struggling. But he has been hitting at a 61% hit rate this season, 23 out of 38 games, not half bad. This is the number I really like to see, though. He's hit this in each of his last 5 matchups versus the Dallas Mavericks, including the 2 times that the Lakers and Mavericks have faced off this season. You see here on November 22nd and December 12th, he hit this both times. Again, I think head-to-head data is very important when it comes to picking props, and the fact that he consistently hits this dating back to December 2022, he's hit this every time he's played the Mavericks since then. So really solid spot here in terms of the matchup. And last year, obviously last year was last year. He's a year older. The team's different. He did hit this number at a 79% hit rate. Again, even this year, like we said earlier, he's still hitting it at a 61% hit rate, so not half bad. And if you look at the right side of the screen here, defensively, they are bottom half of the league, the Mavericks, in points allowed total to opposing teams, and they are bottom 3 in rebounds allowed to opposing teams. If you push that down to the small forward position, because LeBron is technically a small forward, it's kind of a tough thing to follow because he's a small forward, but He's not really a small forward. He's like a point forward, and so who's defending him changes constantly. But just for the case of looking at it versus small forwards, they do give up bottom 10 rebounds allowed, and they're about middle of the road points allowed. You look at power forwards, it's a little bit better for us. But overall, they are a bottom half of the league team defensively. They give about 117 points per game, and they are bottom 3 in the league, giving about 46 rebounds per game to opposing teams. So a solid defensive matchup for LeBron. And unlike the Herb Jones prop, guys, this one is exclusive to DraftKings. So if you are going to look to bet this parlay, you're going to have to bet it on DraftKings if you want to add the LeBron prop. All right, guys, for the third and final leg of today's parlay, we are targeting the Warriors-Jazz game. It kicks off at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with John Collins of the Utah Jazz over 17.5 points plus rebounds. Now, if you watch the show, guys, you know John Collins has been covering this number all season long, very consistent. You look here, just in 2023 season, he's hitting this over at an 82% rate, 31 out of 38 games. Now, he has started over the last 10, 20 games. You're starting to see some red pop up, but look at how he started the year. Unbelievable. So much green. And even here, he's starting to get back on trend. He did not hit this in his last game, but overall, again, 82% hit rate this season, 31 out of 38 games. You go ahead and look at his last 10, still 70% hit rate, and his last 20, 70% hit rate, 14 out of 20 games. So he's been covering this all season long. And again, guys, like the LeBron prop, this is a DraftKings exclusive because it is an alternate line. Apologies for that, but we are looking for the best value, and this is what we're finding. So again, if you want this parlay, you're going to have to bet DraftKings, but I'm sure you can find this line somewhere else. Like if you go ahead and take the alternate line here, and you go 18.5, the value is still solid, right? It's a 79% hit rate. He's hit it in one fewer game than he did when he had it at 17.5. And you look here, it's available on Caesars, on DraftKings, on BetMGM, on FanDuel. It's available everywhere. So just altering the odds in the game. When you use Outlier, link in the description below, you can find all this stuff. So you look at alternate lines here. I'm going with a 17.5. A little bit lower, not as great value, but it's just that one extra point could be the difference maker in hitting this prop and not hitting this prop. So we're going to go with that. But you're obviously welcome to take the higher line. Now, there's no head-to-head data for this one, but when you look at the right side of the screen here, defensively, where the Warriors look, they are bottom 10 in points allowed, and they are about middle of the road in rebounds allowed. We go ahead and put this to the power forward position. They are bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, and they're actually solid defensively against the power forward position. This is in part because Draymond is there, and he's back. But they struggle with size mostly. Look at versus centers. They're bottom 10 in points allowed. They usually struggle with size. I'm not too concerned, honestly, with the defensive matchup. John Collins has been covering this all season long against teams that with much better defenses than Golden State. So that is my third and final leg for today's parlay. One last thing, guys, just real quick to show you, one of the cool features of Outliers, they give you professional insights for certain props to give you some idea of their potential hit rate. Right here, we do have an insight for the John Collins prop. John Collins has exceeded 18.5 points plus rebounds in 9 of his last 12 games, at home after a win. 22.1 points plus rebounds per game. Very specific, I understand, but it is a pattern, it is a trend that Outliers on, so it is something worth mentioning. All right, guys, moving my screen over to the left side now so you can see our ticket. So here's our 3-leg parlay right there. You got the LeBron prop, the Herb Jones prop, and the John Collins prop. Plus 320 odds. I know the thumbnail is going to say plus 315. The odds actually went up a little bit as I was recording. But plus 320 odds here for this parlay. Not half bad. I do want to show you guys, if you take out, just real quick for the non-DraftKings users, because I always feel bad for you guys if you can't bet with me. We'll take the LeBron one out real quick. And we'll take the John Collins one out real quick. That's minus 125, just the Herb Jones prop. If you go ahead and you take the alternate John Collins, you're betting with me, guys. You're getting to look behind the scenes and how I make my picks here. We go ahead and we add the John Collins prop, the alternate line. That 2-leg parlay, which I still recommend, like that John Collins prop at minus 110. Again, you saw he only hit it in one fewer game. So still solid data there for John Collins. That 2-leg parlay is plus 244. So a little bit less value, but only 2 legs. Honestly, not a bad spot to bet. So if you don't want to take the original one, that is the alternate you can find. Again, those 2 props are available on most every sports book. The Herb Jones ones is not on FanDuel. I swear FanDuel when it comes to NBA props, not the best. But they are available on DraftKings, on Caesars, and BetMGM. So guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. Again, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 50,000. We are less than 1,000 subscribers away. We're so close. Help us get there. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to drop comments down below. I love you guys. Love this community. We hope we get a winner tonight. I feel pretty good about this, whether you take my full 3-leg parlay or you just take the alternate 2-leg that I just showed you as an alternative. Hope you guys ride. If you're not riding, if you're fading, make sure to comment fade me, or comment riding if you're riding, whatever you guys are on. Thank you very much as always, guys. I will see you next time with the next NBA Player Prop Parlay video. Until then, I hope you're all winners.